What's up, guys? Chris here. I am alive, believe it or not. I think it's been almost 2 months now since I made a video. I've just been so busy with a lot of things, work and life, and kind of just being lazy, if I'm being honest. Sometimes, I'm sure a lot of you that make videos, even though I'm relatively new to making videos, you can probably get burnt out. I'm sure a lot of you have had that happen. And yeah, I don't know, I wasn't really burnt out, I just kept putting stuff off, and anyways, I just decided that, I'm never gonna break the slump if I don't just do it. So here I am. Gonna just start off back where I left off, rather, with the album collection videos that I was doing. I've got probably, I don't know, 3 or 4 videos I can make of just stuff I bought in the last like month and a half. So I'll probably have some collection update stuff coming. I have a couple other video ideas that I want to do. Trying to figure out some different content as far as just doing the normal collection updates and showing you guys my collection. I don't know, like, I think those are the 2 types of videos that people seem to enjoy the most, and that's honestly, for me, usually the kind of videos I enjoy most. It's how I discover a lot of new things that I haven't heard of when I watch your guys' videos. So I'm trying to, make that the focal point. But I got some other ideas in my mind that I want to put forth. But I have some things I got to iron out first. But yeah, I got new stuff coming. So if you guys like what you're seeing, make sure to subscribe if you're not. I've actually gained some subscribers since I've been gone, which I'm very grateful for. I don't know how that happened, but I appreciate every new subscriber that I've had. If you haven't seen a new video of mine, I appreciate it. So, like I said, we're pretty much at the end of the A's as far as my collection goes. So, yeah, probably one more video, then we'll finally be onto the B's. This series will probably be going on until I'm 45 years old because I just got so much stuff. And anything that I've bought since the channel has started, I haven't, and I'm not going to put in these videos, which is kind of a problem for me because I want to file some of this stuff away. I got a bunch of stuff, I'm looking right at it right now, and like my OCD's bothering me. But I'm trying not to feature, stuff, 2 or 3 times, unless it's something that I really enjoy, but I don't, I don't know how else to keep track of it. So, anyways, starting off this video, I have 2 by, not exactly any kind of underground band at all. And that's 2 from Audio Slave, Revelations, and I believe this is just a self-titled. Chris Cornell, one of my favorite singers of all time. Rest in peace to him. Audio Slave, probably my least favorite project of his. I prefer his solo stuff. I prefer, obviously, Soundgarden to this. But that's not to say I don't enjoy Audio Slave, for what it is. But just not my favorite of his projects. The next couple I got from a band, it's a metalcore band, if you want to call it that. Probably not up most of your guys' alley, but August Burns Red. I have Thrill Seeker and Leveler. I thought I had more from this band, but I guess I don't. It's not a band I've listened to in a long time. They're nothing special. They were just one of those bands that were really big at the time I was getting into this kind of music. I want to say these came out in like early 2010s, I believe. Yeah, this is 2011, and this one I'm not seeing a date. This is 2006. So they were early on in that era when I was getting into heavier music. So they, have a soft spot in my heart. Nothing too out there, nothing too groundbreaking, obviously, but it's just something that I got into when I was a kid. And I still can enjoy some of that stuff. It's just that particular band I haven't listened to in a long time. Next, I got R Noir, Deep Tracks of Hell. This is some decent black metal. Nothing reinventing the wheel on this one. I'm sure most of you guys have heard of R Noir. Next few I've got from one band. Not much to say about this band. If you know them, you know them. If you somehow don't, then you just gotta check them out. Austrian Death Machine, Total Brutal. Triple Brutal, stupid glare, there it is, and Double Brutal. Very unique and creative album titles for sure. I have to really be in the mood for this kind of thing. I wouldn't call it like, any kind of parody. It's definitely heavy on comedy in it, but the music is still pretty great. I don't know, you guys just got to check it out. They're a very unique band. I don't know if they're still around or not. I have no idea. But I used to enjoy them a lot as a kid, and I just recently got those. They were harder to find than I thought they would be, and at like a decent price. The next thing I've got, I'm not sure how to say this one. I'm going to butcher it. The Austrasian Goat, I think. Stains of Resignation. It's some atmospheric black metal with like elements of, it's kind of doomy. It's very slow in parts, but not enough to just call it just straight up like doom-ish black metal, but it's very atmospheric, very good stuff. Next thing I've got is one of my guilty pleasures is like mid-2000s era, like post-grunge type stuff. Again, it's something I grew up on. I think, from watching the guys that I watched who seem to be, in their 40s or maybe older, or maybe a little younger, some of the 80s and 90s music that you guys like is something that doesn't connect with me. I know a lot of you guys like certain things that it just doesn't connect with me. This type of music is what I think that stuff is for some of you. With that being said, this is just like an unknown type of band, Authority Zero, A Passage in Time. Yeah, I don't know, like those kind of bands like Smile Empty Soul and, Absence of Concern is another one that I've had on these videos. This band, they're just a decent, like post-grunge type band, nothing, fancy about it. Next, I've got, Autograph, Sign In Please. Just a, fun 80s rock band, hair metal type stuff. I bought this strictly for the one song, Turn Up the Radio. I just really like that song when I've heard it. I bought this a long time ago, and it's decent for what it is. You know what you're getting when you get a band like that. Let's see. The next thing I got is Autumn, Esoterica. This is a female-fronted, like, I don't want to call it blackened death. It's much heavier on the blackened side than it is death metal. This woman's vocals are nuts. You would have to check this out if you've never heard of this. Yeah, I won't say much about it, but just if you haven't heard this, check this out. It's really good stuff. Next few I've got from one of my favorite and probably one of the most legendary death metal bands of all time. You want to call them old school death metal. You can call them, oops, there we go. You can call them, Doom Death, whatever you want to call them. Death Doom, sorry. I'm so rusty at these. It's been a while. And that band being Autopsy. I don't have all of their collection. There's a few holes I have. And their new song, by the way, I forget the title. I should have written it down before this video. Kicks Ass. I think it just came out last Friday, I believe. So just 4 or 5 days ago. Check it out if you haven't heard it. Their new song. Damn, I forget the name of it. Anyways, so I have Severed Survival, which is like this deluxe Peaceville reissue with a live show and some rehearsals. This might be a controversial thing. I don't care. Not only do I not care, I would rather not, when I buy a deluxe edition of an album, I would rather not have rehearsals or demos on it. I think they usually suck. I guess it's cool if you maybe are into writing music and you like to hear the progression of maybe what they took out of a song, what they added to a song, what they did with certain things. Me, I don't give a shit about hearing some shitty recorded demo of a song when I can just hear the song. I'd rather have like a live thing. I think all the death, I have all the death albums, and I believe they're all from the same reissue that they did with those. And every single one came with if it was not a bonus disc, it was on the disc. I think it was a separate disc. But it's just all demos. And like certain bands do that, and I can't stand it. I never listen to demos ever. I don't know what the appeal is. If someone enjoys them, let me know. Like if it's something where you just like to hear the progression that interests you, I guess that's cool. It's not for me. I just cannot stand it. I'd rather just have a live album. But that rant aside, so that's Severed Survival. I have the Headless Ritual, which I believe is one of their latest albums, which I honestly prefer. This might be like sacrilegious to say. I think like the last 10 years of their career are probably better than the first 10. I think, I mean, pretty much their whole discography with the exception of a few I love. There's a couple, not stinkers, but just ones I care for less. But yeah, I would say that the last few are probably my favorite. So that's the Headless Ritual. And I've got Macabre Eternal, another cool one. Autopsy, I don't know if they have the same guy who does their artworks all the time, but their artworks are always on point. Then I've got Acts, I'm sorry, what is going on here? There we go. Acts of the Unspeakable, which I believe was the first one that I bought from them. So this one has a soft spot in my heart. This one I believe is, I don't know if it's a bootleg. I don't remember what the deal with this one was. Or if it's like early tracks from them or something. I don't remember, but this is Ridden with Disease. I don't remember what the deal with this one was. I should have looked it up beforehand, but you know, if you've watched my videos before, you know I do like zero research beforehand. In a way, I kind of feel that's like I like doing that because I just like, it's like genuine when I'm, you know, it's just like as if you were talking to me at a bar or something, if I met up with you. But in other ways, I'm sure it's kind of annoying when I'm like, I don't know about this, I don't know about this. I guess this is like demos and stuff. And I should reiterate, I kind of fix what I said earlier where I don't like demos. I like demos if it's like actually recorded songs and not like the demos I'm talking about when I say I don't like demos on albums is when it's like instrumental, like lo-fi, crappy sounding, like whatever. If it's like a demo that a band put out, you know, before, you know, they got a record deal or something, that I like. I don't like hearing like, you know, just instrumentals of a song or just like the pre-recorded version of a song that just gets recorded better on it. Like, I don't know if that makes sense or not. I think you guys get what I'm trying to say. Next one I got is Skull Grinder. Another awesome artwork right there. Then I've got Tourniquets, Hacksaws, and Graves, which I think might be my favorite, but from them, I'm not 100% sure. I'd have to really think about it. This would be a band worth ranking their albums once I get a hold of all of them, because they kick so much ass. It would just be fun to go back and listen to them all. I'm going to censor this one because I don't know what is and what's not allowed on YouTube. This is the one that I hate the most. Shit Fun. I'm pretty sure that that's a given. I'm pretty sure a lot of you feel that way. I can appreciate some of the stuff on here, but a lot of it, it's shit, with less of the fun. I don't hate it, but it's just not very good. And then if Tourniquets wasn't my favorite, this would be my favorite, and that's Mental Funeral, which I think, you know, everybody here knows this. It's a classic. You know, not much I can say about this. A legendary album. And moving on from Autopsy. Wait a minute. The rest of them are all just one band. I thought I had something else, but no, this is going to close this off with a personal favorite band of mine. I'm sure all of you will shit on me. Some of you younger guys will get it. Some of you older guys won't get it. that would be Avenged Sevenfold. This band, I can truly say, without them, I probably wouldn't be making these videos right now. Maybe I would, maybe I wouldn't, maybe, you know, it would have taken me in a different direction. But for sure, I wouldn't care about music as much if it wasn't for this band. From hearing, you know, one of their first songs on Guitar Hero when I was you know, I don't know, 10 years old. Seeing them live as a younger, not as young, but a younger guy. I don't know, in my opinion, for my generation, one of the most important bands. I would say, if you're in between the ages of 20 to 30, I'm right in the middle, 26, just turned 26. This band, you are more than likely a fan of this band. So I guess I can do them in order. Might as well just do it like that, right? First off, you got Sounding the Seven Trumpets. This is some really raw stuff. It's their heaviest album, if you want to call it that. It's basically just straight up metalcore. His vocals, I don't know for sure, but I think this was recorded when they were teenagers. I don't know if it was high school. I don't think they were that young, but I think it was teenagers. There's a lot of really good riffs on this album, but the recording is just not very good. The vocals are just not the best, but I just think because he hasn't matured, his voice hadn't matured yet. Still really good though. I mean, We Come Out at Night is a great song. What else is on here? Darkness Surrounding, Turn the Other Way, Warmness on the Soul. I like that song. I wish they'd re-record it with his voice now, because on here it's kind of shaky. An Epic of Time Wasted. Yeah, this is a good album. That was like one of the last ones I had heard from them. I had no idea that album existed. This was the first album I bought. Actually, I'm sorry, probably the second one I bought, I believe, and that's Waking the Fallen. This is a great album. This, if anything, Avenged Sevenfold is a band where you can see, like, where they went, like, you know, it wasn't like, you know, album to album, like, there's a progression. This one carries some of that those metalcore elements into it, but they kind of stray away from it a little bit as well, like, and just straight up, like, you know, metal. And you can kind of tell in this that their influences, I'm pretty sure Iron Maiden is one of their biggest influences, and there's elements of that in this album, and most of these albums too. They like that big, you know, grand type feeling songs, you know, like epic guitar solos and longer songs, and you can always tell that there's an element of, like, Maiden in there. Not to say that they sound like Maiden, it's not that, but you can tell that they're it's a heavy influence for them. But this one, yeah, I mean, Unholy Confessions, Second Heartbeat, I Won't See You Tonight. Oh yeah, Desecrate the Reverence is probably my favorite song on here. It's a great album. The next one I've got is City of Evil, which this was the first one I bought, strictly for Beast and the Harlot. It's a modern metal classic, that song, in my opinion. Yeah, that was the first song I'd heard from them, but this album kicks so much ass. It's not my favorite from them, but it's up there. Blinded in Chains, I mean, obviously Beast and the Harlot, Backcountry, Strength of the World is a great friggin' song. Side one, every single song on this album, I know every little note on it. I've played this thing God knows how many times. I probably wouldn't want to know what the total is. The next one, which I think a lot of people consider to be, I'm sorry, I got the order wrong. This one, depending on the day, my favorite one, I don't know. I spent the most time with this one. This one came out, and it was like the first of their albums that I actually bought, like as it came out, and it was 2007, so I was 11 years old. Yeah, it's, like I said, if I'm feeling like nostalgic and I'll throw this on, like, yeah, I would probably say it's probably my second favorite or first. But if I'm not in the mood for it, I don't know. There's some weird stuff on here. Like, I'm not the biggest fan of A Little Piece of Heaven at all. I mean, I like it, but it's kind of just silly, honestly, in my opinion. I love Dear God, but like it's weird that they got like it's like a country-ish song almost. It's like a little odd. If anything, you could say is like every single song on here has its own feeling, I guess. It sounds like I don't love this album. I love this album to death. I've probably played this thing more than I played City of Evil. This is probably, if I had to guess, I'd probably my top 10 most listened to albums ever. And extremely important for me, but I don't know. It's the older I've gotten, the less attached to it I've become, if that makes any sense. Now, the next one, this is what I was going to say, is what I think a lot of people consider to be their Black album. And I'm getting it out of order again, but I don't care, whatever. Because I'm pretty sure Nightmare was after the White Album. But a lot of people consider this to be their Black album, as in, like, kind of just, like, straight up radio rock type stuff. I like this album a lot. I'm sorry, Hail to the King is the name of the album. I like this album a lot. But I can definitely see what people's gripes are about it. It's just kind of bland, boring radio metal. It's like kind of like not an equivalent to Five Finger Death Punch, but that kind of like, you know, you meet a guy at a show, he's like, oh, I listen to metal, and you're like, oh, what do you like? And it's like, you know, Five Finger Death Punch, Avenged Sevenfold, you know, Volbeat. It's like along those lines. There's still some really good songs on here. I love Planets, and I love some of I usually love their slower stuff. So Crimson Day, I love that song. And the singles aren't bad either, just nothing special. Then I have the next one, which is actually the one that came before Hail to the King, which is my bad. Nightmare, which I remember my dad bringing me the day this came out to go get it. I was so excited when this one came out. I know he watches these videos and he probably has no recollection of that whatsoever, but I remember going to pick this up the day it came out after school. I played the shit out of this thing. Yeah, Nightmare is a great song. Welcome to the Family. Save Me is a great song. Tonight the World Dies might be my top 3 favorite Avenged Sevenfold songs of all time. So Far Away, if that doesn't make you cry every time, especially the music video, I don't know what will. But you could see the progression, so I should have really done it in order, but this came before Hail to the King. This had more elements of just like being like straight up like radio metal. There's definitely some more complex stuff on here for sure. But you could definitely see it, especially starting with their self-titled. Like they were, whether you want to consider that going up or down, there was definitely like some, you know, gradual pushes in that direction. The next one, I'll just do this one and get this out of the way. It's not like a real album, it's a live album. And that's Live in the LBC and Diamonds in the Rough, which is a live concert, which is a great concert. And the Diamonds in the Rough CD, which is a bunch of covers and I think a couple different mixes of other songs. They do a great cover of Flash of the Blade. Yeah, the Walk one is probably the most popular one, the Pantera cover. I like that one, but that original, you know, Pantera version is just a friggin' classic, so it's like, I just prefer that version. Yeah, it's a good album. It's a good live album. So this one is probably, I'll say this now, probably my favorite now. When it came out, I thought it sucked. I was so pissed at this thing when it came out, but the older I've gotten, I'm like, this is like genius. And that's The Stage. This came out after Hail to the King, and it is a complete 180 from what Hail to the King was. This is probably their most complex album they've ever put out. This thing is out there beyond belief. I don't want to use the word progressive, but it's close to being just progressive metal. I think the issue with it for me was when it came out, they And I think they came out in interviews and said that they did less touching up with his voice and some of the sound on the album. But his voice just sounds like raw, like really raw, and a little different from the previous, like every single other album. And when I was young, I say when I was young, this came out in 2016, I was 20. I don't know, I just hated it. I liked the single that came out for it, but like, I don't know, it just didn't do anything for me. Now, I played this, and I talked to my buddy about this not that long ago. I put it on maybe a year ago, maybe a couple years ago, and holy shit, it blew me away. I'm like, how did I go so long with it? Because I basically played this like once when it came out, and I just put it away. I'm like, it pissed me off. I just didn't like it. Now it's like one of my favorites. I don't know if that's because my taste in music has changed and I gravitate more towards like more complex and more, you know, out there sounds. But this friggin' album, the stage, the guitar work on this thing is fucking insane. Sinister Gates is Don't Shoot Me, People, is one of the top 10 guitarists in metal of all time, honestly, in my opinion. You can think I'm a crock and I'm a friggin' I don't know what because I have that opinion. I don't care. If you can sit there and listen to them objectively, like you just know, like he's just one of the greatest guitar players of all time. There's some crazy shit on here. Yeah, the stage, Goddamn, Creating God, Roman Sky. Oh, just fucking listen to this album. It's amazing. And that's how I'm gonna end it. I think the next video, like I've said, I'm gonna finish up the A's. I'm gonna try to make one of my next videos. I'll probably do a collection update soon, and I'll probably try to do one of the newer videos that I had in mind, and see how you guys like it. I'm trying to just be a little different than, you know, I think everybody's channel has something where they try to be different than everybody else, and I feel like that's something that my channel hasn't had. So I feel like I owe it to myself and to you guys to provide something different, to just make you more interested in wanting to see what I have. With that being said, if you enjoy watching, comment, subscribe, like, whatever you gotta do. Tell me I suck, that's fine. I like anything you guys have. And yeah, until next time, I'll see you guys later.